Running out of water. If you can't tell by the sweat on my face, it's pretty hot out here. You know, hiking in the high desert in the middle of summer can be pretty dangerous, really. One of these could be a lifesaver. People have been out here traveling the deserts for thousands and thousands of years, and it got me thinking, what did they use for water bottles? Seems like today everybody's pretty much always got a water bottle with them, but back before plastic and metal canteens, what did the ancient people use? Today we're going to test that out, see if we can make an ancient water bottle. It's probably best to travel at night, but when there's such great distance in between springs, you have to wonder, how they carried water. Surely they didn't carry heavy clay pots full of water. Sounds pretty precarious. Maybe it's possible to get some water out of a cactus, but you have to be pretty thirsty to give that a try. It's a pretty fair assessment to say that baskets don't typically hold water, but believe it or not, ancient people used baskets sealed with pine pitch to carry water. So today we're going to try and make one using only desert plants. We have a couple different types of willow to try for the basket, and then we have some pine pitch to seal it together. Here's a little piece of that pine pitch we're going to use. All right, so I have 5 and 5. 5 little twigs going through 5 other little twigs. And now I'm going to start wrapping over under around this. I actually think I'm going to start wrapping the bottom with some yucca cordage just to make it stronger and a little bit tighter together. So start with this piece. You know how it goes. Twist away, twist back towards you. Add in pieces as you go. At this point it looks pretty messy, but you kind of want to just get them all fanned out in a circle. And then you want to keep your cordage that's going in between fairly loose actually, so that it can go tight against. You don't want any big gaps, especially since we're going to try to seal this up with pitch. Alright, I've gone around and I've tightened up this yucca as much as I could. There's still a few gaps here, but hopefully we can get those sealed with the pine pitch. Now I'm going to start turning all these upward and kind of start getting our water bottle shape. And I'll probably switch back to the willow bark instead of this yucca. It was nice to have this yucca to start off because you can pull on it really hard. It's a lot stronger than willow bark. Big old rain cloud over there. Just got my fire started. Just in time too, because it started raining. Got my pine pitch warming up by the fire. Water bottle starting to look like a water bottle. This is what your pine pitch usually will look like when you pull it off a tree, collect it in a jar. That rain feels good. Don't always get that lucky though. All right, guys, check it out. We have our willow bark water bottle. Unfortunately, I didn't have enough willow to make a screw cap for the top, so just gonna be an open container for now. It's got quite a few holes in it. Hopefully that pine pitch will be able to seal it up, but let's do a test real quick just to see how it looks. Runs right through, not holding any water. The sun came out and it got hot, but let's see how our pine pitch is doing. Looking pretty good. I think I'm gonna take some of this juniper bark, ruffle it up, and put in there to fill the holes, so we'll try that. Brought this back over here to heat it up a little more and see if we can get it a little more runny. All right, this is nice and runny. Let's try and give it a go here. got some oozing out the bottom there. I don't know, we'll see how it works. This would have been so much easier if I had made a basket that I could put my hand all the way into. All right, so got it full of pine pitch. I can still see a few holes in there, so we'll see how it does. Let's try another water test. It's definitely holding better. Most of the holes are on this side. Let's try to patch those. It's holding some water in the bottom though. So what I should have done is sealed the outside and not the inside, because now I need a whole bunch more pine pitch. So I'm gonna go grab some more. I'll be right back. We'll try and seal up the outside instead. Looks like I'm gonna need to heat that back up, but looking pretty good. I'm gonna be sticky. So I think I'm just gonna leave it as the bottom half. I think the top half got coated pretty good on the inside, but we'll see. All right, so I went through and patched all the holes I could see. We're gonna do one last water test. I'm only gonna fill it up to just below the top of the pine resin on the outside, and we'll test and see how long it holds. Couple drips. That was a pretty fun time. Thanks for tagging along with me while we tried to make a primitive water bottle. I read that they found pitch baskets that were coated completely on the inside and on the outside, like they were dipped in the pitch. And I think if I had a big enough pot and enough pitch to dip this in and pull it out, that it would seal a lot better than just kind of caking it on the outside and on the inside. So I think if I tried that, I could get it to hold water indefinitely. You can see that it's pretty much entirely pitch on the bottom on the outside, and there must still be a few holes in it, but I'm sure the ancients would have made a much nicer looking one and would have worked a lot better. But my goal with this channel is to just kind of show some primitive ways that things were made and things were done, and I think this is a pretty good example of that. Thanks for tagging along with me today. Catch you on the next one. Check it out, new Stanley. All the girls are gonna rave.